That's it, is it? Come in. What? You here?
Yes, you must forgive me.
Please take a seat.
Oh, no, thank you. I must go again in a moment.
Have you come with a message from your father by any chance?
No, I've come by on my own account.
And
Here's the English story.
why have you brought it back?
Well, because I'm not going to translate it.
Why?
Well, because it conflicts with all your opinions.
Oh, for that matter.
You don't understand me. The burden of the story is that there is this supernatural power that looks after the so-called good people in this world, makes everything happen for the best in their case, but all the so-called bad people are punished.
But that is all right. That is just what our readers want.
Oh, and you're going to be the one to give it to them? For myself, I don't believe a word of it. You know that nothing like that happens in reality.
You are perfectly right. However, if I want our readers to be safe, to be secure, I cannot frighten them away. If a moral tale at the end of a story makes them all the more ready to read what is printed above it, they'll feel more secure, as it were.
For shame. You would not go and set up a snare like that for your readers. You are not a spider.
Thank you very much for the compliment, but it was Billings' idea and not mine.
Billings?
Yes, he propounded this theory here one day, and it is him who was so anxious to have the book in the story.
But how could Billings, with his emancipated views...
Oh, Billings is a many-sided man, Miss Stockman. He's running for post of the secretary to the bench too, I hear.
I don't believe it, Mr. Hofstad. How could Billings bring himself to do such a thing?
You must ask him that.
Well, I should never thought it of him.
Are you really so surprised?
Yes! Or, but perhaps not? Really, I don't quite know.
We journalists are not much worth, Miss Stockman.
Do you really believe that?
Yes, sometimes I think I do.
Well, perhaps in the ordinary affairs of everyday life, yes, but when you've taken up a weighty matter in your hand...
When that matter is your father's, you mean?
Yes. Well, today you must feel like a man worth more than most.
Yes, today I do feel something of that sort.
Well, exactly. And you should, shouldn't you? It is a splendid vocation that you have chosen. To smooth the path for the marches of unappreciated truths. To stand in the open for no other reason than to take up the cause of an injured man.
When that injured man is... I don't exactly know how to put it.
When that injured man is so upright and so honest.
When that man is your father, I meant.
That?
Yes, Petra. Miss Petra.
Is it that? That is what is first and foremost with you? Not the matter itself? Not the truth? Not my father's big, generous heart?
Yes, of course, that too.
No, thank you. No, thank you, Mr. Hofstad. You've betrayed yourself, and I shall never trust you again in anything.
You really take it so amiss in me that this is all for your sake.
Oh, what I'm angry with you for is not having been honest with my father. You made it out to him as if the truth and the good of the community was what laid nearest to your heart. Now you made a fool of him and me. For that I shall never forgive you. Never.
You ought to not speak so bitterly, Miss Stockman. Your father cannot do without my help.
Oh, so you're that sort of man too. For shame.
No, I am not. This came upon me so unexpectedly. You must believe that.
I know what to believe. Goodbye.
Damnation, Halstead. Oh, this is awkward.
There's the book. You must give it to someone else.
Miss Stockman, please.
Goodbye.
Can I say, Mr. Halstead?
Well, what is it?
The mayor is in the printing room.
The mayor, you say?
Yes, he wants to speak with you. He came in by the back door. Didn't want you to see, you understand.
Just give me a moment. I'll go myself. Just see, Mr. Aspaxon, that no one...
Quite so.
You did not expect to see me here, Mr. Hofstad?
No, I confess I did not. Please, take a seat.
Ah,
let me relieve you of your...
No. No, thank you. You know, I've had an extremely annoying experience today, Mr. Hofstad.
Well, I expect so with all the business that you attend to.
The medical officer of the baths is responsible for what's happened today.
Oh, the doctor, indeed.
He has addressed a sort of report concerning some supposed defects in the baths.
Has he indeed?
Has he not told you? You know, I thought that he did.
Yes, I do remember him saying something of the sort.
I ought to have that copy.
There it is on the table.
Right.
Well, you see, that's the very thing that I'm speaking of.
Yes, that is the doctor's article, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, is that what you're speaking of?
Yes. What do you think of it?
Oh, I'm only a layman and I've only taken a very cursory glance at it.
Oh, okay. Well, but you are going to print it.
Well, I cannot very well refuse a distinguished man.
I have nothing to do with editing the paper, Mr. Mayor.
I understand.
I merely print what is put into my hands.
Oh, quite so.
And so I must...
Well, but wait a minute, Mr. Saxon. You will allow me, Mr. Hofstad?
If you please, Mr. Mayor.
You are a very discreet and thoughtful man, Mr. Saxon.
I am delighted to hear you think so, sir.
And a man of very considerable influence?
Chiefly among the small tradesmen.
Well, the small tradesmen are the backbone of any community. Any community.
That is true.
And I have no doubt that you know the general trend of public opinion among them, don't you?
Yes, I think I may say I do, Mr. Mayor.
Yes. Well, since there is such a pleasing, public-spirited self-sacrifice among the less wealthy citizens of our town...
Self-sacrifice?
Well, yes. I found very pleasing evidence of the matter, very pleasing evidence indeed. Almost thought that I hardly expected it, but, you know the public better than I.
But, Mr. Mayor, I don't quite understand.
Well, of course, it is no small sacrifice that they're going to make.
The town?
But I still don't understand. Is it the baths that are...
Well, at a provisional estimate, the repairs that the medical officer deems to be necessary will cost him out of about £20,000.
That is a lot of money, but...
Well, of course, it will be necessary to take up a municipal loan.
Surely must not mean the town will pay.
Do you mean that it must come out of the municipal funds? Out of the ill-filled pockets of the small tradesmen?
Oh, my dear Mr. Saxon, where else is the money to come from?
The gentlemen who own the baths ought to provide that.
No. The proprietors of the baths are in no position to take up any further expense.
Is that absolutely certain, Mr. Mayor?
I've satisfied myself that it is so. If the town wants these very extensive repairs, well, they will simply just have to pay for them.
But damn it all, I beg your pardon. This is quite another matter, Mr. Hofstad.
Yes, it is, indeed.
And the most fatal part of all is that we shall have to shut the baths for at least a couple of years.
Shut them altogether?
For 2 years.
Yes, well, the repairs will take as long as that, at least.
I'll be damned if you stand that long, Mr. Mayor. What are we householders to live upon in the meantime?
Well, Mr. Slaxon, that is a very difficult question to answer. But what would you have us do? Do you suppose that we shall have a single visitor in the town if we go about proclaiming that our water is polluted, that we are living on a plague spot, that the entire town
The whole
is...
thing is merely imagination?
With the best will in the world, I have been unable to come up with any other conclusion.
Well, then I must say it is absolutely unjustifiable of Dr. Stockman. I beg your pardon, Mr. Mayor.
What you say is lamentably true. My brother has always been a very headstrong man.
After this, do you mean to give him your support, Mr. Hofstad?
Can you suppose for a moment that I...
Well, you know, I have drawn up a short resume of the situation, as it appears from a reasonable man's point of view. And in it, I've indicated how certain supposed defects in the baths could be remedied without outrunning the resources of the baths committee.
Have you brought it with you, Mr. Mayor?
Well, yes, I brought it with me just in case you
Lord,
should.
there he is.
Who? My brother?
Where?
He has just gone through the printing room.
How unlucky. I did not wish to meet him here, and I still had several things to discuss with you.
Go in there to find the present.
But, you
You'll
know,
only find Billings in there.
Quick, Mr. Mayor, he is just coming.
All right. But see that you get rid of him quickly.
Mr. Slaxon, pretend like you're doing something.